Hey everyone, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and a few reality shows on the side. And one of the daytime TV shows that we are going to be talking about is today we're going to be talking all about The Bold and the Beautiful. I love The Bold and Beautiful. Isn't that funny how I start every single video about The Bold and Beautiful saying, I love The Bold and Beautiful. I do love The Bold and Beautiful. However, this week there was really just focus on two storylines. The first one is the storyline about Sally Spectra stealing the designs from Forrester Creations to create her own line at Spectra Fashions, and the fallout from that. And then the other one is the storyline, of course, of Quinn and Ridge and Katie's interference with Eric, and now they have to give her a job at Forrester because, Quinn offered to make her happy, right? So before we go into that, let's talk about the Sally Spectra thing. Okay, so obviously I do feel a little bit that Shirley Spectra is getting off scot-free, as is Bill Spencer and Jarrett Maxwell. Like, all three of them are far more culpable. I mean, Sally is culpable as well. I'm not going to deny that. But I feel like those other three are far more culpable, because as opposed to her great aunt Sally, when she came and started Spectra Fashions, she wasn't a designer. That's why she was a knockoff house, because she wasn't a designer. Sally Spectra is a designer. Now her designs might be, a little bit crude and a little bit ostentatious, but they're still her original designs. And if Jarrett Maxwell hadn't actually ripped her to shreds, if he actually grew a pair and wrote his own review, then she wouldn't have ever stolen from the Forresters. But because he did that, she had to do that in order so that everyone could pay their families. And she brings up a very good classist argument because, Steffi came to her office and tried to rip her to shreds. And she was like, you know what? And Sally's like, you know what? I'm sorry. She's like, I'm sorry. You know what? I did it. And Coco had nothing to do with it. I did it. And all of my employees now have food to eat because I was able to pay them. So I'm sorry. I apologize. And hopefully in the future you can forgive me. And what does Steffi do? Fucking bitch. She's like, I don't care. And Thomas hates you. Like, I mean, she was just such a bitch about the whole thing. God, ugh. She's totally the opposite of Stephanie Forrester. Like, the rival between Stephanie and the original Sally Spectra, you were totally rooting for Stephanie. And you were like, yay, whenever she got one up on Sally. This generation, it's completely flipped. I'm sorry. Steffi is not a likable character. And she just gets worse and worse. And let's talk about her boyfriend for a second, too. Okay, so, I mean, and there was a little mini storyline going on with Brooke and Bill, but that was, A, we've seen it a million times, and B, it wasn't really it didn't play that much of a part this past week. She did accept his engagement ring, though, when they're back to being engaged, I guess. Anyways, so Sally told Steffi, look, everything that you got is because you're rich. I've never been rich. My family, they dumped me on my grandmother's doorstep, and she took us in, and we had to scrape to get everything that we have. I mean, it's a great argument. It really is. Because even after that, Steffi was like, I don't care. You're the worst. Anyways, and then her boyfriend, Liam. Okay, so Bill is having this scene with his sons, Wyatt and Liam. And Liam is just an idiot. Like, he just is like, oh, wow, yeah. Like, he doesn't know what the hell is going on. Like, really? Where's Mr. Holier-than-thou Liam? Why is he not saying anything? Does he not know that his father basically tried to sabotage Sally's career? Right? Idiot. I think they just had him in that scene because they had to pay him that week. That's just what I think. And they're like, well, if we're going to pay him, we might as well throw him in that scene with Bill and Wyatt. Now, Wyatt's always been a little bit on the shadier side of the ethics compared to Liam, but he's still a decent person. Like, they're both better people than Bill. So I can understand Wyatt if Wyatt is conflicted, but there should be no conflict in Liam's mind. But of course, because he's married to Steffi, which I think that is so stupid as well. I mean, really, Steffi has always been Liam's second choice. Let's be real. His first choice has always been Hope. Now, Hope just got something. Now, the girl who played Hope has just got something else, some other movie. So we're not going to be seeing Hope unless they recast for quite some time. I hope they do recast and bring her back because Steffi is the goddamn worst. Okay. So let's talk real quick about Quinn and Ridge. But before we do that, how fierce would it be for Sally to team up with Quinn? That's something that I would like to see. I would love to see a Sally Spectra Quinn Fuller pairing. That would be awesome. Because they could do some serious damage to the Forresters. But, Quinn's in her own little bubble. She barely even knows about Sally Spectra. She only knows about it because, it affected Eric's designs. And apparently they pilfered her jewelry, too. So now they've got to make a new jewelry line. So she was struggling this past week with, oh, wait, let's go back to Sally. I'm sorry. One more thing. So Coco had this scene with Nicole, right? Because they're still friends, even though all this stuff happened. Nicole knows it wasn't Coco. And, RJ believes her as well. And she's like, I understand family. And I understand what it's like to be disappointed by your family, right? I just don't... and I get that she is talking about Sasha, her sister, Sasha, who stole Zendaya. Oh, and again, Zendaya again was going off to RJ about the Spectras. He better recognize, the Spectras were the ones that gave his father a job, and if it wasn't for the Spectras, he wouldn't even be around because his father would have never met Christian Forrester, and they never would have gone to Africa to adopt him. So he needs to shut his fucking mouth. He is the absolute worst. Anybody else in that building that wants to criticize Sally, they can. It just seems a little disingenuous to have Zendaya constantly do it. Again, I suspect that's just because, we need to give him a paycheck. We need to pay him this week, so we'll have him go off on Sally again. Annoying. So anyways, I get why Nicole said it. It makes sense, but it would have rang a little bit more true if it had come from Maya. Because Nicole is the one who disappointed Maya when she first came to town and was blackmailing Myron, saying, I know that you were my brother. That's because, blah, blah, blah. That would have made more sense. But Maya, is towing the family line and, she's with her husband, Rick. And again, I don't see any point in that. That's stupid too because Rick should be trying to seize every opportunity. He should be like, you know what? This is what happens when Ridge and Steffi are CEOs. All of our stuff gets stolen and now we have to scramble at the last minute. Did that ever happen when I was CEO? No, it didn't. That is what... seriously. That would be totally in character for Rick. But that has not happened yet. Anyways. So Quinn and Ridge are back at it. And we saw little flashes of the old Quinn with the letter opener. I just wanted to just do it. Just do it and off Katie. Just do it. Katie's annoying the hell out of me, although she said, so Quinn offered to give her a job with, I do gotta say, it was a good nod to their own history when, Ridge told Katie that he knows the Logan girls like honey, because that was a reference to when Pam locked up Donna and poured honey all over her and then had a bear come in and try to kill her, back when Pam was Looney Tunes. That was a good reference. That's all. He didn't even go into all that. He just said, "I know you Logan girls like honey." That was clever. That was clever. Good. That was very good. Um. So yeah, I hope she just kills her. Just. But yeah, she was saying, "Oh well, Pam could use someone else to work behind the desk." She's like, "You want me to go from being CEO of this company to being a secretary?" She's like, "Every role's important." But of course, now she's going to be working with her on the jewelry line, blah, blah, blah. Well, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate you all. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can also hashtag Bold and Beautiful to talk bold and beautiful. And you can also hashtag Dancing for Relevancy because, that's coming up next. And it is a shocking elimination this week. If you thought you were shocked when Erica Jane got eliminated, you ain't seen nothing yet. So have a great night, everyone. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.